everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm so glad that you did. I have been working today on some ephemera and some organizing, which is good. My desk is nice and clean and I have plenty of space to work. I still have a table with items on it. My husband has to put some shelving in the closet in the guest bedroom. And I'm almost finished with my filing cabinet, so I'll be able to get my files in it, and then I will work on my fabric, and then I'll be done. So how was your Sunday? What did you work on today? I worked on making more ephemera from my book, from my journal that I've been making, and I just wanted to go over some of the things that I've made. And I wanted to show you how I'm putting my pages on and the mistakes that you can make if you're not paying attention. So we'll start off with the ephemera. And so far I've done my tags. And so all I've done to them so far is back them. Like I had some shorthand paper, so I backed it with that, which is good. I mean, you could use it as a gift tag or, you know, just a bookmark or something like that. Sometimes I just like to have, you know, tags with something on the back instead of just, you know, with the cardstock. So, you know, I may put just a piece of paper here for writing, but I just thought that looked cool and I just really liked it. And I have some shorthand paper in the journal itself, so I thought that would go well in one of the pockets. And then these are some of the other tags, so they're all set and ready to go however I decide to do them. I may do them the way Rose did them in one of her videos, and I've done several since, and that is to stagger them like this, and then you punch your holes and you put in your grommets, and then, you know, you've got the three of them together, which is kind of fun. So I haven't decided yet on those. And then I made this really cute little journaling card. I just put some fibers here and a crocheted flower here. And then in the middle, I put a little, just a little sequin before I glued the this to this. So it does take a while for the fabric, for this fiber to dry. So what I did was I put it on, and then I used one of my little clips. Excuse my reach. I just used one of my little clips like this and clipped the fibers until it dried. And then I put, after I sewed the sequin on, I just took this and I put Fabri-Tac underneath it, and then I just clipped it on like that and left it to dry overnight. I mean, I don't think you have to wait that long, but I just did. So just to let you know that the fun fur, or the fibers, or whatever you call this really cute stuff, is it does take a few minutes for it to dry. So, but it is so fun and it's so pretty, and I really liked it. So we've done that. Oops, excuse me. Wow, that was loud. And then let's see, what else have I made? I'll do some easy stuff first. I made a pocket with some shorthand book page, and I have a pocket here, and right here I just put that there. That probably won't fit. I'll have to find something smaller to fit in there. Let me see. I'll show you. I know I have something somewhere. Like, for example, I'll be putting like these in there. But it will be nice when you take them out, and there'll be, you know, that little decoration there. And then inside I have placed book postcard. So, and somebody can actually send it to a friend if they'd like, or just journal on it if they would like. And then I used the paper for the backing, so that, you know, when you took the card out, that would still be there. Whoops, did I put that in upside down? Yes, I did. So anyway, he goes in there. And then I'll just keep this right inside here just to make sure I don't forget to put that in there. But I just thought that was cute. And this is from a quilting magazine that I have. It's pretty old. It's from the 70s. So I used to make a lot of quilts. So I have a lot of quilting magazines. So I use that for the front. And so I use that. And then this is going to be the pocket. This is from the quilting magazine as well. And I backed it. Ooh, I backed it with some cardstock just to make it nice and sturdy, because this is going to be the pocket for this booklet that we made, that I made with Rose from Journals in Time. And you could go to her station and watch that, but this is the booklet that I made for that. So I kind of glued together because of I didn't probably wait long enough for it to dry. But that's the napkin I decoupaged. And I just put Fall Friends on that page. This is the cutest little booklet. I think I'm going to make another one too. Whoops. I don't think I waited long enough for that to dry, but it's fine. It's not sticky at all. I just don't think I waited long enough for it to dry. And if that happens, all you have to do is, where's my pencil? Or eraser. I wanted to show you if that happens, what you can do to get rid of that, which is very simple. Where's my pencil? I only have 60 of them. Well, anyway, just take a white eraser, or just don't use a yellow eraser, because that will make it all dirty. I use a white eraser. I don't know where my pencil is. Oh, here it is. Silly. So if that happens, just take and do this, and it will come right off. And it won't take your paper off. It just takes the glue, you know, any glue that got on there. Or, yeah, the decoupage medium, whatever medium you used. I used PVA and a little bit of water. I'm pretty sure that's what Rose used as well. There you go. And it won't stick anymore. It's not on here, so I don't have to worry about that. That's nice and dry. And that's the other side. And then I have a little tuck here with writing space, and I sewed on that. And then a little tuck here, and inside is a little booklet, and I just put this on the back. So when you opened it up, it would have something there. And this is just a little booklet, and I sewed right down here. And that's that. And I sewed around it as well. And I put some glossy accents. I painted some glossy accents here and there, just on the flowers. And yeah, on the flowers and the hedgehog and the mushroom. I think you could see it, just to highlight it. So that will go inside this pocket. This will be the pocket that this goes inside. And like I said, this came out of my quilting magazine from probably around 1975, maybe. So I don't mind cutting it up. I won't be quilting anymore. Not like this anymore. All my grandchildren. I think my kids are done having my grandchildren, so anyway, I won't be making big quilts like that anymore, I don't think. So, okay, so we've gotten those done. And then I made this little pocket. This is just a picture out of a magazine. I thought she was really cute. And I just collaged the side of it. This is another pocket that I used the shorthand on. The shorthand paper, which will go on another page. And again, inside here, I have another postcard, Fury postcard with fall colors. I thought the fall colors looked really pretty with the kit. And there's paper inside here as well, so that it looks nice when you take it out. But I just thought she was adorable, and it was really fall looking. So get out your magazines, your book pages. Oh, this is embossed as well. I embossed that. Put it through the embossing machine. And I haven't stitched anything yet. I ran out of thread, so I'm going to be doing my stitching later. I'll be stitching, you know, around my pockets and things like that. And then I made this out of, obviously, an envelope. I just turned it inside out. And, whoops, that is a hidden paper clip, in case you didn't notice. But, yeah. So, I just put that here on to keep it closed. And then on the back, I have just this picture, and it says Rooted in Fall. I took that out of a magazine and just wrote that down, you know, taped it on here, collaged the back of the envelope with some music paper, and this is actually the envelope. I just put it through the embossing machine, collaged all the back. This is from another quilt from my quilting magazine, and I cut the strips off there. I put a little strip here, and then you open it up, and this tag comes out, but this stays in because I glued it on the inside of the envelope. So, and then that's just a tag that you can write on. And I lightly embossed the card on the back. And then the paper, obviously, you know, on the inside it's lined. And then I just kind of collaged that top. And then I did purposely cut this side because I just thought it would be different and kind of neat looking. I like to pull that up. And so, and then this has a little flip open, and you can either, you know, write something on there or put a secret thing back there or whatever you want to do. And the same back here, you can write on that. And this is from an altered envelope that I just turned inside out because I liked it. It feels really good. I didn't even have to really put it through the embossing machine because it was like lines embossed on it. So yeah, you don't have to collage like your whole envelope. I think it looks pretty cool like that. It's just an idea. And then in my envelopes, now I'm not sure. These could go either way. They could go like this, and this could be your top. So you could close these two up, and then this could be your top fold over. But I decided to do them this way, and I lined them with dictionary page, just so that, you know, they'd be lined. And then I have my postcards are in here, and on the backs I put, I had these in my stash, and they're so cute. So I had them from last fall, so I put those on the backs of the postcards. And there's some more of that shorthand right there. So, and this is glued on to the postcard. And then this is from the kit. I just fussy cut it and put it, you know, glued it onto the postcard. And they go inside this envelope that I decided to do that way with, and close it this way. And the same thing with this envelope, only I used that image, which is so cute. Both of those images. She's just adorable. And I backed those with cardstock. So I may decorate the back. I haven't decided yet, but they are just too cute. So cute. So yeah, definitely go through your books, your magazines, just to, you know, add a little variety. And then I made this. I loved doing this. This is like one of my favorite. I think this is probably one of my favorite things in my that's in my journal so far. I really enjoyed making this. This is just a it's just a coin envelope, I think. It's out of the paper, but I made this. I put this together, and then I cut this here. And it's lined with, just the top of it is lined with this piece because I didn't want the white showing, and I thought it would go good with this red, and this is from the kit as well. And then here, I took this part, and this was just like a tan on the inside, and I cut that out. I fussy cut it out. And then I took some of my roses and my hydrangeas that I've dried, just a rose petal and some hydrangea, and I put that on the inside and backed it with some French script. It's a letter, just a piece of a letter, that's all. It's a scanned letter. I don't use my originals. And then I just backed it with some more scanned paper. So this is on this, and then I backed it with this again, so it's 2 sheets actually, and then I just put some packaging over it. So I hope you can see that. But I loved making that. I just love making these. I could make them all day long. I just love them, and I have so many dried flowers. But I think they're really pretty. So that goes right inside there. And then this we made on camera, but I don't think I showed you my finish. So what I did was, there's a pocket here, which I have a tag in. This is made out of those lunch bags, those little sandwich bags I showed you. And somebody did find them at Target for $4, I think, for 50 in a box. I'm pretty sure that's what I paid for them years ago with Rachel. Only back then, the only place you could get them was on Amazon. But now you can get them, you know, pretty much anywhere. So this goes in here, and it's pretty cool because you can still see this pattern here. And then this goes in here. And then I put a little pocket here for the postcard here. And then just to keep it, you know, strong, I put this over, you know, the top of the bag. I folded it over and kept that on the top. And then inside you have this tag, which I still have to put, you know, I have to stitch around it. I have to put a hole in it. I have to put a ribbon on it. And then we have this journaling card. No. I'm sorry. This is going to be staying in here. I haven't finished it yet. That's right, because I still have to stitch it, and I didn't have the thread yet. So this actually stays in there so that you can see that. And then this goes on this side. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. So yeah, so there you go. So you can see the little fox tag, and when you pull it out, you'll be able to see this. And I think I will put a journaling card in there because there's plenty of room. So I think I will do that. And then I still have to stitch it. And then this is a paper clip, and it's just pieces of fabric and some book page that I made, and it's, you know, just a hidden paper clip. And there's a little pin there that holds the fabric, but the pin doesn't go onto the paper clip. The pin is just onto the paper. And then the hidden paper clip is back there. And that just slides right over the page like this to keep it closed. So you get a lot out of one little bag. And I just loved the way it came out. I loved collaging it. I loved making it. And I'll be making many more of these. I just think they're so much fun. I'm pretty sure I made a journal out of these bags a long time ago. I just don't remember. It was that long ago. So that's made. And then just these little guest checks with all these little pieces of ephemera. You know, little journaling cards and spot. And then more guest check. This is just something that I had made with y'all, showing you that you didn't have to have dried flowers. You could just use book page. And let's see, put this in here. Here we go. And this is another tuck spot, which I've got so many of these little cards already made up. That can go in there, and then on the back of here, this little writing spot. Another little writing spot. This is from the cover. All this stuff is from the cover page. And then another little writing spot, and then a little tuck spot. This is glued on. So all of these things fit right in here. Another guest check. Whoops. Gonna have to put some glossy accents or something on that to keep it flat, or just glue it down. And then this is what I made for a challenge on Rach and Bella's site, and that's got just a piece of paper on it. I think I showed y'all before. And it's just a scrappy pad that people can take apart and use these pieces to collage, or just leave it alone and write on it. But there's several different types of paper, and, you know, tea-dyed and what have you. And then this can come off very easily. I'm not going to take it off because I want the person who gets this journal, I want them to be able to take it off and use it how they want. Then just put garden variety down there. And then these are just little flowers that I had pressed with some leaves and packaging, and did the holes. And I have a video on that. And let's see, this is not going to fit in my journal, so I am going to make a loaded pocket out of this and give it to the receiver. This says a walk in the woods, and this is just a little piece of fabric here, but I made it too wide. That's why you should always check. And there's a large journaling tag. So whoever gets this journal will get this, and there'll be many more tags inside of it. And it's cool because you can see through the back of it as well. And that's, again, one of these sandwich bags. This is just all my scraps from my, you know, fussy cutting and things like that. And then the last thing I made was this little booklet. And it opens like that, and it's just a 3 pamphlet stitch in the back. And then these are all from the kit. This is some handmade paper I made, and I was able to get a blender today for $10, so I'm really excited. And I'll be making some more handmade paper. But here's a little, you know, spot where you could put, you know, something, not a flower, but just showing you. But that's from the kit. And I always emboss my white handmade paper. Not always, but most of the time. And then some tea stain paper. Then that letter with some fussy cut flowers from the kit. And this just pulls out a piece of paper in there. Writing spot. Some music paper. Another fussy cut from the kit. I put some of the washi on the edges because like the music paper is really old. It's from the 1800s, so I just wanted to make that sturdy. And then this flips open, and then you have a tag in there. And this could be plenty of writing space. And then, like I said, with the washi, I put it on the edges so that it would be nice and sturdy. Yeah, it's just kind of a little scrappy notebook. And then I have a little matchbook back here with a piece of scrap. I don't like to throw away anything, as you can tell. And you can pull that open and the person could write in it. That way I don't have to throw anything away. That's good. And I don't have to keep it all over my desk, which is even better. And then this opens up like this for writing. And then just a little collage here that I made. And that's from the kit. It sticks right in there, the back of that handmade paper. I can't wait. I'm so excited that I have my blender. And it's a good one too. It's a really good one for $10. So that was fun to make. That's just a little booklet that I'll put in there. And basically it's just something for a person to either write in or take the pages out and use them for collage or whatever. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I just wanted to put my, I wanted some place to put my scraps, actually, to be honest. And I wanted to use these cards that are in the kit as something other than journaling cards. So, yeah, that's why I made the little booklet. And that's just the edge, and that's the back. I used, you know, one of the journaling cards for the back and the front. And so that's all the ephemera I've made so far. And then this I already had made a while ago, but I really like it. It's out of vellum. And so I'm going to put that in there. I still have to make a tag. It says Beautiful Blooms. But I love this bird. I could probably take this Beautiful Blooms off and put something more fall looking. But I could also put just a fall tag in there or something. But I really love it. And I love this paper, and I do not remember where I got it, but I've had it forever, and it was in my box, and I thought, I'm going to put this in my journal because I really like it. This is out of vellum. I've made these forever, and then I always put the paper here for the pocket just to make it, you know, sturdy. And it could be a floating pocket, or it could, you know, be in your journal on the page, or what have you. So that's all the ephemera I've made so far. And where are we? 27 minutes. That's not bad. So, yeah, so that's all the ephemera I've made so far. And then I'm going to make one thing tonight real quick. But I just wanted to show you when I'm putting these on. And this is printed on cardstock. I think I forgot to tell you that. So, anyway, before I put it on my envelope, I make sure that I put it on so that the top and the side is here. Because when I'm putting these on, I can't decide yet whether I want it to be a side pocket, a top pocket, or if I'm going to close it up completely. This one has to be a side pocket because I wasn't paying attention when I put it on. And I put it on so that the bottom was here. So this is going to have to be a side pocket, or it's going to have to be a closed pocket. So I just wanted to remind you that if you are following along and you are making one of these, to make sure that your top and your side are open, so that when you do take your piece of cardstock, and it's not real heavy cardstock, but it is cardstock. It just makes it more sturdy. So, you know, if I was going to glue it on, I'd glue it on so that I could, you know, open it from, so I could open it from this side and the top. And that way, when I'm all done, I can decide, do I want to close this up? Do I want a top pocket? Do I want a side pocket? Or how, you know, how do I want it? And then, of course, the edge will be the, for those of you who are just joining and hadn't seen the tutorial before this, it will have the, yeah, that cardstock. the vanilla cardstock, the manila or vanilla cardstock. As you can see right now, it's white, but once you put that on, it will be manila. And then I'll put my holes in it when I'm done. So that's that. And then tonight, I am going to show you, I had three projects here, that I'm making for the journal, but I thought this one would probably be the fastest and the easiest. So this is printed out, and I've got a napkin here that I just loved. So I thought what we could do is cut out these pockets, which I probably should have done prior to the video, but it's simple. It's not very hard at all. So I think I already asked you if you had a good Sunday. Excuse me, I had to have some water. I hope it was good. Mine was quiet. My husband worked. Ooh, I did get a few good things today. I got some storage books, which are beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's the back. And they open like this. And they're magnetic. And they're wood. And they're gorgeous. I couldn't believe it. I know they sell them like at Joann's and things like that. I've seen them before, but never like this. I was so surprised when John brought them home. He picked them up for me on his way home from work. The lady was selling them for $10 for all three of them. So, they're gorgeous. I just love them. I mean, they're not shabby chic at all, but I don't care. I love them. And then this is the third one. So, I mean, you could stack them on your shelf, which I have my pie safe, and I think that they'll look good up there, like this, on the pie safe. And I'll keep, you know, my fabrics or my laces or what have you in there. And then just pull it down as I use them. But that's how they'll look. Aren't they beautiful? And they feel like leather. I know they're not, but they feel like it. But they are wood. This is wood. And they're magnetic close. So that was really good. 3 for $10. And I got some patterns and I got a blender. So I am very happy today. And they all lived very close by, within 10 minutes of my house. What did I do with my cutter? I thought I brought it out. I did. Okay, so let's just cut these out, and I'll show you what I'm going to do, which is very simple. I like my pockets lined. So, well, I could do something other than that. I think I will. I think I'll do the other thing I'm thinking of. I'm going to make a little booklet out of this, out of these 2 cards, okay? They're just postcards. So you could use any postcard. You don't have to use Flower Fairy postcards. It's just what I have, and I just think they're really cute. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to use this napkin for other things too, but I'm going to use it for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my napkin and I'm going to open it up because, there we go. And I think that this fits completely on the back how I want it. It does. Okay, so then all I'm going to do is, before I take it apart, I cut it. How I want it. It's got more, you know, you can cut it easier if it's together before you take it apart than if you take it apart and then try to do it. So just find any napkin And then, you know, place it however you want on your, whatever you're going to use, cardstock or postcard, cardstock, you know, whatever you're going to use to make your little booklet. So I am going to put this on here. And I'm going to move this up because I like this down here. And then I'm going to get my glue stick and my tape. And this is how I decoupage because it's easier. I like to dry decoupage. And then I use my matte medium over it. And do I have my matte medium here? I do not. I've already put it away. Or you can use your PVA glue with just a little bit of water. The least amount of water you use, I find, the better it works. You know, you don't get any tackiness or anything like that. So I use glue and just not even a quarter of a teaspoon, you know, just a couple of drops of water. I think that this has 2 plies. I just want to check and make sure. Maybe it doesn't. Nope, that's it. It's just got the 1. So then all I'm going to do is take my my glue, make sure that I have it so that when I open my book, it's going the right way. And I'm going to line up my napkin. I'm going to put it on this side because that way I can line it up pretty good. And then just cut this edge off. This edge is nice and straight. No, I don't know. Do I want it down? Well, it doesn't matter. I could put the other one on like that. Okay, so all I'm going to do is take my glue stick and my parchment paper because I make a mess with glue sticks. Sorry for the noise. I guess it really doesn't matter. So I just take my glue stick. This is just Scotch wrinkle-free. And I like the wrinkle-free because I use Book Page and Magazine a lot. And so that's why I buy the wrinkle-free, because then my book page and my magazines don't get all wrinkled when I put them on my cardstock or my tea stain paper or what have you. So I've always used this glue. And just make sure you have enough on there and all your side, you know, all your edges are covered. Make sure you get your glue off your fingers because otherwise they'll stick to your napkin. And then it'll be harder to put down. So I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to just lightly move my finger that way. And that way I don't have any bubbles. Then I'm not going to, you know, brush it real hard with my fingers because that way you don't tear it or anything. So I'm just going to use my roller. Or you can go over it lightly with your bone folder. This way I don't get any wrinkles. And it's on there. It's not coming off. This is just a brayer. It's one that I don't use for anything but my craft, you know, my paper crafting. I don't use it for like inks or my jelly plate or anything. I have a different brayer for that. And then just take it up. And you're going to take your scissors, or you can tear it however you want. I'm just going to take my scissors. I did use a lot of glue. I didn't really need that much. Sorry. I go completely silent when I'm cutting because I can't cut a straight line. Not to save my life. So this is going to be the front cover of my little booklet. And I shouldn't be using these scissors because I don't typically use them for anything sticky. But I just did. So it's too late now. And that's all you do. Now you can go over that with your matte medium if you want, but it's not going to come off. So you don't have to if you don't want to. And you can save those pieces if you want to for collage, which I might save those for something, like for a page on the inside or something. And then just get your scissors clean. I shouldn't have used these, but I did. So let me just wipe them real quick. And I use hand sanitizer. So I just put that on my paper towel or my cloth that's right beside me. But I have this in my hand, so I'll use this. And then just put some on there. And your fingers, if your fingers get gluey, or your table mat. You know, if you use your glass mat, if you forget to use some parchment paper. And then once you get it all on there, you just take your towel and give it a good wipe, and it'll take any glue off your scissors. But be careful not to cut your fingers. That's why I didn't use the paper towel. And I used my little cloth that I keep on my chair instead. It's not very becoming, but it does the job. And then I'll just throw this in the washing machine. It saves on paper. And see, now my scissors are nice and clean. And I don't have to worry about them being gluey. And I'll just throw that away after I make sure that there's no glue on my fingers. So that's all you do with that. And I won't do the second one already because I'll do that off camera. And then all you do is you take whatever paper that you're going to use for the inside. And once you've got all your paper cut, you know, to the way you want it, you're going to take your cover, which that is going to be my cover. It looks like I have some glue there. Hold on. If you do have some glue on whatever you use, you can just wait and wait till it dries and use your your white pencil, and it will take it off. You know, your white eraser. Or, you know, You don't have to use a pencil. My pencils just happen to have white erasers, so I always, anytime I buy my package of pencils, I always make sure that they have white erasers because it's easier for me, and I'm always using a pencil for something. So just make sure your glue's off. I definitely put too much glue on that. You don't need that much glue. Glue stick and I are not friends. I always use too much. But anyway, so that's all you're going to do with your napkin, whichever napkin you decide to use. And I think I have some on here, which I think that's the problem. Every time I roll it over, I'm putting it in glue down there. So then you're just going to take, you know, however you're going to, whatever you're going to put in there for papers. So I will show you real quick. Let me just get a piece here of, do I have a piece of tea stain paper here? Get a small piece of tea stain paper. I'll just use my music sheet for now. Let me just get out a piece that's squared. So if this is the piece of paper you're going to be using, so then, you know, you're just going to put however many pieces of paper in there and then cut them, you know, to size. And then just make sure your front and your back are together correctly. And then all you're going to do is take your lace or, before you do that, you're going to need to take a piece of whatever you want. You could use tea stain paper, you could use decorative paper, you could use book page, you could use whatever you want, and glue it, you know, on your cover. Sorry, let me take this out. I'm making this complicated. So this is going to be your cover. Okay, so before you put your papers in, you want to make it so that this opens up and you've got a, you know, a spine there, you know, for however many pages you're going to put in there. It's just going to be a one page, you know, probably 10 pages. So 20 pages. So yeah, so 10 of these pages. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll end up with 40 pages. Yeah, to write on or journal on or whatever, book pages, whatever you want to put in here. Flower pages with flowers, whatever you want to put inside your little journal, okay? Because that's basically what I'm making is a journal. So what you want to do next is, let me just get some piece of fabric here so I can show you real quick. And I'll just use this because it's narrow. So you're going to put, so this will be my back. This is going to be my front. And I am going to put some book page or something, you know, whatever I decide to put here. I'm going to glue both here and here so that when you open it, there's going to be a spine there. Don't use book page because obviously that's not going to be strong enough. And I would actually, you know, leave maybe about that much space. Can you see that? It's not even 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And so then, you know, glue down that whatever you're going to run along your edge there. And then once you've done that, you're going to take and put, you know, put something sturdy, cardstock, anything. Then just to decorate, you know, more, just to make it more decorative, then you could do something like this. But anyway, I'm just showing you this because I had it right next to me. But I'm just going to put it together this way. And then, yeah. And then, you know, you want a closure. So you want to make sure that you figure out what you want for your closure. And what I typically do is I use grommets and a little ribbon or twine or something. But you can do something like this, or it doesn't have to be all decorative like that. That just happens to be what I pulled out. You could do this. And this is going to go over, you could put this on and then bind your pages in so that you can see your string, or you can bind it first and then just glue this over the top like this. And then once you're done, you'll have your little fairy journal or whatever you decide to use. And like I said, the inside will be decorative, and I'll do my other side as well with the same napkin, the same way, just to have something different inside my journal, because there are a lot of people using this kit. So I'm trying to think of different things to use in my journal that will be different than, you know, anybody else's. Which, I mean, I don't mind at all if you use my ideas. It's perfectly fine. I just don't want everything to be exactly like the journal. But I do want to use just what's in the kit, other than book pages or postcards. So that is what I have for you tonight. And I hope that made sense. I'll come back again and show you my finished, once I get all my pages together and I go and I start to put them together, you know, put the rings in, to put the holes in and the rings in, I'll come back and do a video on me putting the rings in the edges of the pages, and where I'm going to put my pockets and things like that to decorate it. Okay, so probably two more videos on this, and then I'll be done with this particular project, and then I will be moving on to finishing my sewing journal, which I will be doing on video as well. So that's what we did tonight. All this ephemera. I hope I have room for it all, because sometimes I make a lot and then I don't have enough room for it. So I hope I do, because it's a lot. I feel like it's trick or treat. You know, when you come home or the kids come home and they empty out their bag, it's like, oh my goodness. So anyway, it was fun. I'm really enjoying this kit, and I hope you are too. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and hit that bell so that you get notified whenever I have a video. I hope I've inspired you in some way today, and I hope you have a great week. Until next time, be well, be safe, and God bless. Bye-bye, everybody.